Hello everyone, and welcome to the first Private Equity in Africa Summit. Today you will hear about the vast array of investment opportunities in this great continent. And I want to congratulate the Financial Times, This is Africa, and the Emerging Markets Private Equity Association for organising this event. I'm really sorry that I am unable to join you in person today, but I hope to see you at some point in the near future and to discuss how we can work together to build prosperity in this unique and extraordinary continent. Just over a year ago, I set up the Africa Governance Initiative, which is underpinned by two key principles that, whilst Prime Minister, I came to realise as central to achieving the vision of a stable, prosperous Africa taking its rightful place in the world with an end to aid dependency. First, that good governance, especially effective political leadership, are essential for development. Secondly, that growing Africa's private sector is the only long-term way to escape from poverty. Increased investment is vital to this, and Africa needs it and warrants it more than anywhere else. So the mission of the AGI is to work with African leaders to put these principles into practice. And I work with President Nkrumah of Sierra Leone, President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, two of Africa's most gifted leaders. At the same time, expert project teams work in both countries, side by side with their local counterparts, right in the centre of government, in ministries and investment agencies, and they help to build that essential government capacity and foster economic growth. Now, the progress being made in building the economies of Rwanda and Sierra Leone is taking place at a remarkable pace. Just the other month, the World Bank named Paul Kagame's administration as the government that had done more than any other in the world to improve conditions for investment and business. It's the first time an African country has been the world's top reformer. And Paul Kagame and Ernest Nkrumah are just two examples of what is a new generation in Africa of pro-business, pro-reform leaders who are rooting out corruption, providing protection for investors, and leading more stable, better governed countries which genuinely see business as a force for good. Now, I know from our work together that they are committed to creating the best possible environment for a thriving private sector. That's why it's the right time to be involved in Africa. So, despite increased investment in Africa in recent years, it still has the lowest share of foreign direct investment worldwide, and I believe this is because many people still hold a number of misconceptions about Africa which are no longer valid, but which mean that there are a large number of untapped opportunities. From my work in Rwanda and Sierra Leone, I see firsthand the compelling reasons for investors to look at Africa: high economic growth, increased macro stability, the availability of natural resources, untapped markets, and improving governance. For example, sub-Saharan Africa grew at an average of 6% in 2008, well ahead of the global average, and the average rate of return of FDI in Africa has been increasing consistently and stood at 12.1% in 2007. And this is not just within industries we might traditionally associate with Africa. We're starting to see exciting movement outside of the traditional extractive sectors. There are now great opportunities, for example, in the services and manufacturing sectors. For instance, in Sierra Leone, private equity investors are showing that even in one of the world's poorest countries, great returns can be achieved in sectors as diverse as fisheries, logistics, and mobile banking. So, in my judgment, the time is right for investment in Africa. And much of the work of the Africa Governance Initiative is designed to create the environments in which such investments can thrive. I wouldn't personally be involved if I didn't believe in the ability and the commitment to private sector expansion of the leaders concerned and the governments with which I work. So you're now about to meet one of the world's most gifted leaders in President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. Rwanda has sustained an average annual growth of 8% since 2004, with 11% growth in 2008. Rwanda is a leader amongst emerging markets in low corruption and political stability. Just over the past year, it has attracted some impressive and innovative investments, such as Contour Global's $300 million deal on methane extraction, and the Christie Company's $220 million public-private partnership to redevelop the national university. And there are many other untapped, exciting investment opportunities which you can all consider in agriculture, mining, infrastructure, ICT and tourism, which I'm sure the Rwandans would like to discuss with you today. With this generation of African leaders, heading governments more stable by the day, the time is right to invest in progress. The time is right to invest in Africa. Thank you.